What's up, guys? This would possibly be my carry gun if it wasn't what it was. And when I show it to you, you're going to understand. You know from the title of the video already, though. It is the Zev P320. So this gun is super smooth. I do love my Zev Sigs. I have a few of them. And I actually bought this one before I bought the 226. And I thought it felt really good in the hand. It's optics ready. I was like, well, you know, that's pretty cool. And it was really small. As you can see, this gun is pretty small. Not as small as like a 365 or 43X, but it was very, very pointable. And you can see how I have it set up. When I seen it, I can't remember what store I seen it at, but I picked it up and I was like, yep, that's the one for me right there. That's what I want. So I purchased it. And then I started carrying it. And then all the stuff come out with, oh my gosh, my 320 is going off without me touching the trigger. I carry appendix. And I was like, so I don't carry this anymore. But I really, really still like the pistol. I probably put 500 rounds through it, 400 to 500 rounds through it, with no hiccups at all. It's just run perfectly fine. But today we're going to put a few rounds through it. I do want to show you this trigger. Little bit of take up, not much, and it's very smooth. You hit that wall, it just breaks. Reset, right there. The trigger barely moves and it resets. It has one of the, I'm going to go ahead and say this. Sig makes one of the best triggers just in general on the market. The single action 226 is one of the best triggers I've ever felt. The 320 has a much better trigger than any other firearm, probably almost in this category, such as like, I think it's better than the PPQ in my opinion. I think it's better than the PDP. I think it's better than the HK VP9. That's just my opinion. I like the way it's flat faced. I just like the feel of it. There's not a lot of movement in it. And I just like the 320 trigger better. But the reputation scares me a little bit. But today we're going to put a few rounds through it. I have an opinion on this already, but I want you all to see me shoot it, see the recoil on it and stuff like that. And then I'll give you my final opinion on the gun and tell you if I think you should buy one or not. I have mixed emotions about that right now. All right, guys, again, it comes with a 15-round magazine, flush fit. But if you want to run like the 17-rounders, from the large P320, all the P320 magazines will work in this pistol. So let's put a few rounds through it. There is one thing I noticed, and I don't know why it does this, but every once in a while when I put it up in there, it has like a, I ain't gonna say it's a catch, but it has like a weird click to it. I don't know. It's never caused a malfunction. Out of like 500 rounds in this gun, I've never had a malfunction, but it's just something you feel at the end, and that might be a one-off of mine, but that is just something I noticed, and I want to let you guys know it. All right, guys, the gun is very controllable. It's got good stippling on it. One thing I do want to say, though, it has good stippling on it from Zev. Zev did all this whole gun. You can buy this gun set up just like this at the store, just like I did, but they don't stipple these grips anymore. They couldn't get the grips perfect. And when I mean perfect, I think if you look right here, maybe you can see it. But that doesn't bother me. It's like a little raised spot in the grip, and Zev said they didn't want to keep doing that because maybe they were having some complaints about that and it didn't look totally uniformed. But to me, I feel pretty special that I got one of the grips that they did. They even put their little emblem in it. And I would rather have this grip than the one that's on it now, which is just the standard 320 grip. Nowadays, when Zev does their 320s and they send them to the store, they just do the slides and the barrels, and everything else is pretty much stock on the gun. So you're just paying for the slide work and the barrel, whereas when I got mine, you actually got a little bit of extra work from Zev. And I think that extra work added a nice little touch because you just don't have a Sig emblem here. You just don't have nothing. You actually get a Zev emblem on that. And when I carried this gun, I actually changed this out for a standard Sig grip because I didn't want to mess this grip up. But now that I don't carry it anymore, I put this grip back on it, which was the stock grip, and I just like the way it looks a little bit better. There again, slide on these, super, super smooth. I mean, just super smooth. You can see I didn't hit the slide lock lever on last round. There again, getting better with SIGs because I'm shooting them a whole lot more. The flat trigger is amazing. Again, let me show you this trigger. It's pretty awesome. Right there's your take up. There's your brake. There's your reset. Just a fabulous trigger. And it does have ambidextrous slide stop levers here. But your magazine release, I believe it is reversible, but it is only on the right-hand side or left-hand side. You do have some lightning cuts up here. That's more for just aesthetic reasons. There is a little bit of play in the gun, not a lot, but enough just to keep it reliable. I don't think Zev really does much to these except cut the slide. I think they use their barrel instead of Sig's barrel, and everything else is pretty much the same identical gun. So the reliability that's in the 320 is going to be in the same thing in this because there's not a whole lot of custom work goes into anything that really actually matters. So for now, let me load up another magazine. We'll put some more rounds through it. Like I said, I've had enough rounds through this to actually already form an opinion, and I'll tell you my final thoughts after this next magazine. Now, one thing I'd like to say is this magazine was made in Italy. It is a Sig magazine, but I believe it's from like a different, like a 250 or something like that. I don't think it's from a 320. But we're going to see if it works. I bought this off a buddy, and it should work just fine. It goes in the gun fine. One thing I've noticed that when I hit the mag release, this one actually ejects better than the other one. The other one just kind of seems just to slide out. There's nothing to help push it. But this one actually feels like it's got some spring tension to it, and it'll kick it out sideways. Let me show you what I'm talking about the other one. We put this one in, it's just real slow to come out. And even with rounds in this and being heavier, it comes out about the same as that one. When it's empty, it comes out a whole lot faster than that one. That's just something I noticed, that this magazine was actually, had more spring tension to it, or actually kind of ejected better out of the gun than the other factory magazine did that came with it. All right, guys, what do I think about the P320? I think the P320 is a great pistol. I've never had any issues that other people have talked about where they just fired on their own, or, you know, you dropped them and they fired. Now, this is a newer one. All mine are newer ones, so that drop issue should be fixed. But I've never had an issue with them just going off. I have seen videos of people talking about that I almost believe, or I do believe, because there are some like shooters out there, some competition shooters that was shooting one of these, and it just went off in the holster as he was, you know, reaching down to get it or reholstering. I can't remember which one it was. He had his hand off of it though, and it went off. A lot of police officers have talked about these things just going off, and until they prove that 100% wrong, I will never carry one of these. I own several. I'm not getting rid of them. I think they are great shooting guns. I take them to the range a lot, and I shoot them and have a lot of fun with them, especially this Zev. I love everything Zev has ever made pretty much, and this is no difference, or no exception. But should you buy one? It depends on what you want to do with it. If you're going to conceal carry it, that's up in the air. Because if you believe what everybody else is saying about these things just going off, there's no way I'm going to put this in an appendix holster and point this at stuff I don't want to get shot. On the other hand, it's very accurate. The trigger's great. It's not that heavy. It get a full grip. It does have a little bit of a high bore axis, but I've never noticed that to be a big problem for me. But if that's what you want to do with it and you're wanting to conceal carry it, you be your own judge on that. I'm not concealed carrying this gun or any P320 until they debunk all the sayings that people have or all the claims that people have. But I do carry a 365. A little bit different gun, but I trust it with my life. As a range toy, I highly recommend these because these are great. They're fun, they're smooth, triggers are great, and very reliable. Home defense, I would probably even say it'd be a good home defense gun. I'm just not willing to carry one on my body yet until they prove all those people that have those claims wrong. Once they prove them wrong, heck yeah, I'd probably carry this one right here. But until then, this is a range toy. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Do you trust the P320? I mean, I trust it with my life as long as it's not in a holster. But would you trust it carrying an appendix? I'm still kind of sketchy about that. I appreciate y'all watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. I love you guys. We'll see you next time.